What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny corner of the internet where I come to you every other week to chit-chat to you about all of the crafty things that I have been getting my hands onto. This is episode 59, and today is the 18th of April. As you can tell, I may not be that healthy, but that's okay. This is the internet. I can't get you ill. Thumbs up. This is a great voice, isn't it? All nice and deep and smoky, husky even. Not feeling that great. Gotta love it. I have tea today. It is a lovely Scottish breakfast tea with enough honey in it to make a bee envious. Oh yes, I'm trying here. And I do plan on trying to cut out every single massive coughing episode that I will be having. So if there are sudden stops, that would be why. All right, let's get to the interesting parts of this. What have I finished? Have I finished anything? Yes, in fact, I have. I did finish my Gauge Dye Works socks. Oh, that was almost my normal voice. Again, these were the socks from the yarn that my bosses got everyone in the store for our Christmas gift. You might notice a problem at the top. Yeah, I didn't notice that until I put them on the blockers. I evidently decided one was a 2x2 rib and one was a 1x1 rib, but that's okay. They are friendly socks anyway. They are not they are related, but they are not twins. Again, this is Gauge Dye Works. This one was last names. This one is first names. As you can see, the stripes are similar, but not exactly the same. I very much like them. I am laughing at my cuffs, but whatever. I was hoping to get all the way through all the colorways. I ended on this green on this toe, but I didn't even get to the yellow on this one. Different lengths of stripes. It's fine. They're fun, and I like them. That is the only thing I have finished, and that's okay. Life is good. I do have a hoe, though. I do indeed. This is my Farmer's Daughters Fibers Sock Squad colorway for the month of April, Dandelion. And I am doing the daily sock by, I think it's Summerly. If I am wrong, I will put it down here. So I have one sock finished. I think it looks quite lovely. Woo! I promise I won't hit you with the sock. I promise. But it's a sock, so it's soft, so who cares? But I am very much liking the pattern on this one. Let me see if I can show it off. Look at the pattern. It's really cool. I like it. It fits nice. They are lovely. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it other than I like them. I have not yet started the second one. I know. I almost always am like, hey, I've already started the second one. But I finished this toe last night, and then I went to bed. These are done on a US 1.5 2.5 millimeter needle. So were the Gauge socks. It is a regular 64 stitch sock. The Gauge Dye Works socks had a shadow wrap heel. These just have a slip stitch heel. And they are lovely, and I very much like them. Here is the yarn for the second sock, which I am hoping to start today. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh yeah. And those, like I said, are the daily socks. They're quite fun. It's a fun slip stitch pattern, and they're easy, and I think they make quite a fun pattern, especially for a variegated yarn. It would break up a lot of pooling if you're running into a yarn that pools a lot and you don't like it. That would be a great sock for to break that up. Right. We're doing great. Again, it's the internet. You're here, but you're not really here, so I cannot get you sick. Thumbs up. Now, I had a plan last time I was here. I was working on the Witchy Stitcher's Stephen King house. And my plan was to finish all of the black support structure for the house. So, Witchy Stitcher. I was planning on doing all of this, just the black support structure. And I was like, I don't know if I'll have, I don't know if that's too much to do. I had no clue. And then I said that if I finished all that, I would then start working on my Ceratotum. I did not do that because I got sucked into this and I have become momentarily monogamous. We'll see how long that lasts, but right now I am very much enjoying working on my Stephen King house. I have made some additions to add extra Stephen Kinginess to the Stephen King house because I felt certain very important books were left off. I mean, it's Stephen King. He has a lot of books, so the fact that I think some were left off, I mean, of course they were, but they were important to me, so I was adding bits. Details. So shall I show you how far I've made it on my Stephen King house? I'm quite chuffed, I must admit. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it's gorgeous. So I did finish all of the upstairs. I put a moon in for the stand because M-O-O-N spells moon. If you've read the book, you understand. I also put in a raven also for the stand. Right down, I missed that, yes. Right down here, you can't see it yet, but I will be having some glowing eyes right there. That will be for Salems Lot. Because I was going to try and do like a hand print on one of the tombstones, but I don't have that kind of skill, so I'm just going to do eyeballs. Know your limits, right, people? Know your limits. So I finished all of that, and then I finished this room, which is The Shining, and then I have The Shining and 1408. We go forward. It is so good. It is so good. I'm very much enjoying it. Over here will be Carrie, and I will probably be working on that today and tomorrow if I feel up to it. And yes, that is delightful. Absolutely love it. Yes, I do. So yes, I right now am momentarily monogamous. As I said, we will see how long that lasts. As long as I'm really super enjoying working on this one, I think I'm going to continue working on it. And if that means I finish it, that means I finish it. I don't know if that's what will happen. Let me think. Carrie is here. Misery. Cujo is right here. And It. Ooh, it could be It, and then It could be down here. I don't remember. But those are the main movies, and then we'll have what, Children of the Corn on one of these sides and Pet Sematary on one of the sides. I'm also thinking of adding a rose for the Dark Tower. We will see. We will see if I'm feeling rambunctious. Yeah, like I said, the Salem's Lot right there. I very much am enjoying this piece. It is so fun. I mean, look at those guys. Look at them. Look at them. You've got the hedge maze here. You've got all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I mean, okay, it's a typewriter. It doesn't say that, but you know, you can read into that. You got good old Jack Nicholson. I'm sorry, but it is. It's Jack Nicholson. You got the axe in the door. I mean, it's so good. It is so good. It is so good. And I will say, doing the Shining carpet was rather delightful. It really, really was. As you can see, I'm doing all of the backstitching as well. So each room that I finish is completely finished and I do not have to go back. So that is my momentarily monogamous stitching. That is all of the cross stitch that I worked on because that was all I did. I did work on one other knitting project. In here is Living My Big Cozy Cardi from Andrea Mowry. Now last time I showed you how far I was. And then I started a second bowl. And I was very excited. And then I got a little farther, and I got a little farther, and I got a little tiny bit farther, and I realized something. I broke a cardinal rule of knitting with hand-dyed yarns. And that is that you should, at all times and always, alternate your skeins. Yes, people, if you're working with hand dyes, you need to alternate your skeins. Why? Because hand dye means it's done by people, which means not all the skeins are going to be identical, even if you have them from the same dye lot, which these are. These are all the same dye lot, but because they are dyed by hand in vats of dye, not all of them dye 100% exactly the same. And sometimes, if you do not alternate the skeins, you will see a stark color difference between one bowl and the next, which is why you alternate your skeins, so that that doesn't happen. I was a very bad knitter, and I had not been doing that. So when I switched to the second skein, there was a very stark and obvious line. Oh my God, it was so obvious. It was painful. And I tried to pretend that it wasn't going to be that bad. I really did try. I did. I failed. So I ripped everything out. Oh yeah, I ripped the whole thing out because I wasn't going to be happy. I wasn't going to be happy with that line there. And it's my own fault for not alternating skeins. So, ripped everything out and I restarted, and I am now alternating skeins, which makes me much happier. Which means I am not quite back to where I was at. Because you can see, like, this is a tonal yarn. There is this light color right here, but it doesn't go light all the way across. It goes just in a couple of spots. Anyhow, woo, bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Here is where I am on my Cozy Cardi, big Cozy Cardi right now. I have not yet made it back to where I was at before, but I am a lot happier, and yes, I have 2 skeins, 2 balls. See, there's the 2 yarns. And that is what you should be doing anytime you work with hand-dyed yarns. It's very important. But I am so liking it much, much better. Like, here, a little bit of pulling there, a little bit of pulling here, and that's fine. It'll give it a lovely, lovely look when it is all finished. I do have my sloths on here because this one's going to take me forever, especially now that I've ripped it out. I was annoyed, I was sad, but it was my own fault, so you kind of just have to suck it up. I have found my corner of craft stitch markers. They were hiding, but I did find them, so I will be putting the little sloth marker on right here so that I will have a progress marker, and you can see how far I have made it the next time I show you this, which will be when I film next in 2 weeks, which will be May. Yes, it'll be May, and next time I film. That's terrifying. Hopefully I'll have made some progress on this. We will see. Womp womp. Sad, but my own fault. What do you do? So that is that. Alright. So yes, that is, like I said, all that I have worked on. So next I will get into plans. What are my plans? I'm still very much enjoying working on my Stephen King house, so I will continue to work on that until I don't feel like it anymore. And that'll either be when it's done or halfway through the next room. I don't know. I'm just calling it as I see it. I'm enjoying it, so I'm stitching on it. I mean, isn't that why we stitch? I think it's why I stitch. So that's what I'm doing. If I do finish it, in the next 2 weeks, or if I get tired of it, I will be working on Serototum next. That is next in my lineup. So come back in 2 weeks and see how far I've made it. It'll be a delight. Other than that, I will be working on my second daily sock and trying to finish that up ASAP. And my big Cozy Cardi. Also, I will be working on my scrappy projects on Sunday, if I have time to knit on a Sunday. Boring basic plans, but that is fine because some days that's just how we are. Now we will get into stash. I do have a teeny tiny bit of stash that I will be showing off. I have bought the second volume of Lane's 52 Weeks of Socks. Yes, I did. I bought the second book. I've knit some out of the first book, so I thought it made sense that I could buy the second book. There are some lovely socks in here. Let's see if I can find one of the ones that I really liked. I mean, this is why you watch me, right? To watch me just randomly look through a book. Obviously, that's why you're here. Okay, I'm not going to be able to find them. Anyway, that's okay. If you haven't... Oh, I want to do these. I want to make these. They are held with mohair, and they just look comfy and cozy. And I have some stranded dye works in, I forget which colorway, but I have some stranded dye works in both a fingering weight and her mohair, his mohair. And I think this would be very lovely in that colorway. So I might be doing that one. We will see. Okay, bought that. Excuse my lean. I do have my April Roxy Floss Co. flosses. I get both the brights and the neutrals. So let us do the brights. Ooh, do I have any white? This will work. This one is Blush Crush. These are the brights, like I said. This one is Zest. Very pretty. Fresh Air. It is just oh so vaguely like minty. The Other Side. There we go. That's a better representation of that color. And Believe It. Very pretty green. And then we have the neutrals, which I'm in love with. We have Dirty Martini. So here's Dirty Martini next to The Other Side. This is much more olive than this one. I don't know how well that's showing in here, but this one is much more olive. In case you were wondering that they looked similar. They do look similar, but they are definitely different. This is Evo. Marvelous. Oh, that's a good one. Creme de Violet. Ooh, that's a pretty purple. And Over It. Nice dark purple. So we have the neutrals, and we have the brights. So here we have all of April, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Happy, 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 happy. I also have my next Knit Spin Farm. This is for April, and it is called Fence Posts. So, there's the photo. So, this one is Fence Posts because it's talking about all the lichens and the other bits that grow on an old fence post and the weathered wood and all of that. Woo! And this is gorgeous. I'm really loving these colors, these rich, deep, they're not deep, but rich, naturey, scummy colors. I kind of love it. I may have to start a pair of socks. I mean, like I don't have enough socks, but who knows? I like my stripy Targy socks. And it stiffs good. Gotta huff your yarn sometimes, people. It's just a requirement. Sorry. Anyhow, it says it's even stripes of yellow scale lichen, twisted vines, rusty wire, weathered wood, green algae, and speckleback lichen, which is evidently the blue. Speckleback lichen. I've never heard of speckleback lichen, but I do not research lichens. Other than lichens are very weird and hard to classify if you're into that whole classifying things. Lichens are bizarre things. Anyway, I also, one last thing. This is the last thing I've received. I have been in the Silver Needle, a little help from our friends stitching circle, and I received the latest kit. They've been having shipping issues. I mean, supply issues. There's the word. They've been having supply issues. A lot of people have. It is what it is. It's not like I don't have nothing else to stitch, so it's okay. I know I'll get it eventually. I thought I'd show this one off because it's really, really lovely. So this is what I received for Silver Needle's latest stitching circle, and I love that peacock. This is by Cottage Garden Sampling. And that peacock is just to die for. And it's all kitted up. I'm trying to not start new things this year. I'm trying to work on my whips, which is why I'm doing Whip Warriors 23 and 23. But, oh man, this is tempting me. This is tempting me hardcore because it is so pretty. So very pretty. Absolute love. Absolute love. So, I have it all folded up in the tissue paper that it came in because there's other stuff with it that I don't want to lose. So I just kind of, yeah. So that is all of my stash. Other than a book, it's mostly stuff that other than the book, it's all plus stuff that I knew was coming at some point. Now on to life. As you can tell, I am not healthy. I caught some sort of horrible evil cough. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it is kicking my butt. And I have a low-grade fever to sometimes a full-on fever. And I'm coughing, and it's awful. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. I don't know where I got it, like I said. I had been out and doing a couple of things in the past 2 weeks, so who knows? I may have got it then. I was at game, and I went out to eat, and I was at my friend's birthday dinner, which was absolutely fabulous. Oh my gosh, my friend's birthday dinner. There were two friends of mine. They were both turning the same age, and so they had a big birthday dinner. And it was absolutely lovely. I did take the Ocean Bounty cross stitch to the person that I was finishing it for. She was one of the birthday people. And so I gave it back to her, and she was very, very appreciative. It made me happy that I was able to finish that piece for her. It was important to her, and she just couldn't stitch it. She just didn't want to. It was too much. Boring, evidently. But she still wanted the piece, and so I was very happy that I was able to do that for her. It made me very happy to help her out that way. But the dinner was delicious. Oh my god, the food was so good, and the cake was beautiful. It had these Queens of the Night flowers, sugar flowers, one for each of them, and they did not look like sugar. They looked like actual flowers. Gorgeous, and the food was so good, and the people were great, and it was wonderful. And then I was at work, and oh, my deck is finished. My deck is finished. It is gorgeous and glorious, and it has been raining ever since. Yep. Yes, it has been raining ever since. Ever since the deck got finished. I had one day of trying to be out there. I was out there with my fire table going, under a blanket, drinking something warm to try and keep warm enough to be out there. It didn't really work. Maybe that's why I'm sick. Who knows? But since then, bucketing rain, or wind, or both. It was 30 degrees today. 7 o'clock this morning. It was 30 degrees with wind chill on the 18th of April, which is not normal for the Pacific Northwest. It's usually a little warmer. Not warm, but it's usually a little warmer. It's making me wonder if we're going to have a very hot, awful summer. If we're going to have one of those, oh, it's 110 degree weeks. That'll suck. Because the weather is weird. And when the weather is weird, we tend to have weird summers as well. Who knows? We will see. Yeah, it's wet. So I haven't been able to use my lovely, lovely deck. Sad. Wah wah. Oh well. It will be there when the weather finally weathers up enough for me to be able to be outside. At some point, I may even film out there. I have before. We will see if that happens again. I do not know. That is basically all the life stuff. I lead a pretty boring life, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I have a lot of things I'm angry about in the world. I have a lot of things that I'm, yeah, but I don't have the ability to talk about it right now, so I'm not gonna. Right. I'm going to finish drinking this mostly honey tea and see if it helps any. I am also going to go curl up under a blanket because I have a fever, and therefore I'm either way too hot or I'm freaking cold, and right now I'm in a freaking cold moment. So I'm gonna go do that. And I hope all of you are doing fantabulously. I hope the world is treating you well. I hope your health is treating you well. And I hope you are getting all of the stitching and knitting and crafting of whatever varieties that you enjoy. I hope you're doing them all. I forgot, I was gonna say I was on Carla's Zoom the other day, but that was while I was sick, so I barely had a voice and kept coughing, so I just kept myself muted the entire time. I was happy to go stitch with people that I could get sick, but yeah, I didn't feel comfortable inflicting my coughing on anyone. I really didn't. It's bad enough I'm inflicting this voice upon you all. I apologize, but yeah, I decided to film anyway. I'm gonna go take a nap, and then I'm gonna go edit. And yeah, I wish you all the best, and I will see you in May. Oh my, it will be May. Oh my. Right. Take care all. Bye-bye.